There you are. All right. One quick clean in there. One last swipe with the cleaner. Earplugs out. Turn this off. Turn off old safety fan. I'll turn off a couple more fans here real quick. That's not a fan. That's a fan. Now we get some of this background noise handled and have us a little chat, because I used the title "The Excitement Builds" on this one. You've all been with me while I've been kind of farting around with some cool shapes. You've all watched this one get built, cut and shaped, and I liked it so much I thought, I want to use it as a rider. And then I thought, you know what I really like having? I like having a couple of riders. I never break my boards. You've seen my skateboarding. It's not something that breaks boards. So I got to work today and I made this one. They're different. A little wider in the front on this one here. And I wanted to play around with a little bit rounder approach to the scallops, and I wanted to see how it would work. So one of my problems here is I don't have a spindle sander, variable diameter drum sander, and that's what you really want. That's what I really want for scalloped boards, so I don't get chunky chunk, wiggity whack work like that. Now once we take these and the half template that I've been moving around and using, I move this into 3 or 4 positions as I build these, so this is not the shape, but once I take these over to Life Skateboards in Muncie, the process we've been in this week with the first one, it's a warped deck that I went ahead and played with, and then I made the second one. I wish there was a way for me to just set one of these over here. That'd be pretty cool. I might do some display racking. I made the second one, less wonky, less chunky in between. I just spent a little more time on this one. Like that well. It has a nice wide shape to it, much wider. We did a measure through on both of those last week. You just watch through and enjoy. And then this one, this is the biggest one, and it's a little wider at the top, at the front than it was before. But I've got 2 observations, and one is I get excited when I make boards. I could feel the energy of the day shifting. Just you start making a board. I teched in my bandsaw today. I didn't really do a lot. I was feeling, but I got this to this phase here, and this one I left a little bit squarer on the sides. I've got a nice bevel on the top of the front, and I've got a nice bevel on the top of the back. I left the bottoms pretty square here and here, and I left it squarer on the sides, and I rounded the points, and it still is not symmetrical. What Life Skateboards can do is take this kind of work and turn it into something that's very symmetrical, because Sam and Bryce have got all the right stuff for making consistent. There's still going to be wobble and wonk in the make. Every factory that makes shaped boards is going to have wobble, wonk, wabi sabi, warp and woof in the make. But also weft. What is it? Woof and warp, woof, weft. Anyway, there's a lot of that. But this one, and we're going to do a top down here. We're going to set you guys up in my viewer from above, which is made of just random wires, and see if we can get you looking down here. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, I think it worked. Let's do a measure out on this bad boy. Oh, it's not quite right. I'm sorry, my friends. But let's do a measure out on this thing here. I get my giant metal ruler. Oh, dear friends, this thing is 34 3/4 inches long, compared to the second make, which came out at maybe the same, looks similar. Second make came out at 34, and the first make came out at probably 32. Let's see, 32 3/4 on the first one, and the first one was roughly 9 inches in between the scallops. So that was a 9, and then the second one was roughly 10 between the scallops. Even wider than, no, is it 10.2 between the scallops. And then this last one, I pushed it out as far as I could between the scallops. I've got a distance of 10.2. I've got 10 10.2 there, and a full 10 5/8 back here at the tail. Tail's 10 5/8, but up here is 9 3/4. So it still has, I could refine this tail more on these. I don't want to though. I love the big shovel tail on it. We'll see what Sam and Bryce do with the shape. But yeah, so I'm thinking this one is gonna pocket up with probably a 15-inch wheelbase. Let's take a look and see if 7 and, no, this is gonna have to have a full 7.5-inch tail on it here, which that's a really big long tail on a deck. 7.5 is a bigger tail than anywhere out there. I love it. I love big long tails on boards. But the thing is that when you get past a certain point on the tail's no longer contacting when you pop the board. It's no longer contacting on the tip. It begins to contact inside here, and it gives it sort of a dead pop. But the leverage on a big long tail can be just delightful. And again, I would refer you to some of the clips of me riding mini ramps on a thing with 7 3/4 inch tail and an 8 1/4 inch nose, 8.5 inch nose. But I'm a ridiculous cartoon character drawn by me. I'm ridiculous. But I'll get this thing pocketed up and finished. And oh, a Magnuson. Interesting, because H Street had the Hell Concave, really great concaves, but I don't remember ever owning an H Street board because in my area, Shut hit right about that time when Shackle Me Not came through, and we were dying to ride Shut skates boards, and I did get some. I might have bought one new. They were hard to get. But I definitely rode at least 2 used Shut boards, and I've talked about them before, how much I love them. But yeah, so you know, the vibe rises when I make something. So I made another one. This is my third crazy scallop shape, and I'm gonna have to do something else. I think I'm gonna go and make some coffee cruisers, some little boards, but not tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be prepping up for Friday, so I'll check in with you tomorrow. And whoa, Ben is in Japan. Thanks for joining me, Ben. Do you drink coffee in Japan? I mean, what's the morning drink in Japan? Is it tea? It's not sake, or is it? That wouldn't be good. Well, Ben Butler, he comments, I own that mold now. Ben Butler got the old H Street Hell Concave mold. I believe it. Ben is miles deep in this stuff. I suspect that Ben is an absolute authority. Ben Butler is an authority in board making and has a great workshop. Ben Butler, would you drop what town you're in and any details on your operation that you want to share anytime? Feel free to drop them in here, because I've been Long-time listener. So I'm going to jump off here and go back into what I'm doing. And I think tomorrow we'll put holes in this and do a final measurement on this one and top shoot it and get it ready for a graphic at Life Skateboards on Friday. Because on Friday we're going to be doing a shape origination at Life Skateboards, or at least beginning that process. Missoula, is that Montana? That is Montana. You're in Montana. That is a beautiful, beautiful state. Wow. Respect. We'll be doing the beginning of a shape over there at Life Skateboards. We're going to be putting graphics on all this lumber that I'm bringing over there from my shop. We're going to be doing some skateboarding. I'm going to let the big boys skate more than me because I'm so cranky. But we'll see how it goes. If I get to feeling froggy, certainly I'm going to carve around the thing. The thing about the bowl at Life is it's very, very slippery. I am not a fan of slipperiness, so we'll see how I do. But I'm going to be there, and I'm going to enjoy my time getting into the mix there. Tommy Story's going to be there. Luke Coffey is going to be there, and John Ryan Zander is going to be there. So, all right. Ben's hands are covered with glue, typing with his thumb outside the gloves. Thanks, Ben, for joining me. Ben is making boards right now. Ben Butler, love you, bud. So glad to be in this with you, bud. And we will escaped Cali 5 years ago. It's a thing, isn't it? Well, thanks, friends. It's Captain Lou signing off, and I'll be back at you soon. Thanks again.